Hello and welcome to the video. So today I'm in Istanbul, Turkey. I'm in the Fatih region, which is the pretty, touristy area of it. And I've only been here a few days so far, so I really haven't done much. This is the European side of Istanbul. So there's like the Asian side and then there's the European side. So we're on the European side. I was coming from Bosnia the other day, and Istanbul is like a night and day change from Bosnia because there's people literally everywhere. People, oh, look at those shoes, like there's things all over the place. There's so much going on here and I love it. Hello, hi.
Hi.
What is this?
5 lira simit.
Okay.
Sisal.
It's good?
Sisal.
Good.
Okay, yeah, I'll have one please, one please. Yeah, thank you so much. Sure. What do you call this? The name?
Simit, sisal.
Simit.
Shmeat, okay. So, we came across this little, kind of like a bagel thing. People on the side of the road selling food. It was 10 lira, which is like 50 cents, which is crazy. It's like a little bagel. There's not much flavor to it, with little sesame seeds on it. Excuse me. We're kind of on the way to check out the Blue Mosque. So the Blue Mosque is this way. So we'll be there shortly. But anyways, one thing I do love about Istanbul is like you can buy juice, food, literally anything on the streets. Oh, don't want to get killed. We're going another way. That's another thing you gotta watch out for. Drivers are pretty aggressive here. Another thing about Istanbul that I didn't know, I wasn't expecting at all, is it's very hilly. At least on the Fatih side, like hills literally everywhere. And so you do a lot of steps, a lot of ups and lots of downs. Like right now, we're coming to a road here, and we can only go up. Check it out, that's pretty steep too. All right, coming up to more of a main area now. Check it out. A lot of people everywhere. One thing you do see here a bit in Istanbul is like major wealth is starting. So like, check it out. Like that's a Mercedes-Benz like mini wagon. And then there was a G-Wagon just back there, and you see some BMWs everywhere. But those are very rare because those are mixed in. Very clear poverty all across the city. But there's just so much going on in Istanbul, like sensory stuff everywhere. And tea everywhere. I'm sure we'll try that, but the tea here, oh my goodness, it's out of this world. Best tea that I've ever had. Okay, so we found something. Rugs for sale or rugs drying. I think you can kind of see it over there. That's the Blue Mosque. And that's where we're going. Like here you go, another BMW. Like fancy cars all around. Or not all around, but you see them pretty frequently. The Turkish hospitality has been like probably the best hospitality from places I've ever been. It's crazy. People are so accommodating, friendly. They go out of your way to like give you dessert when you pay for stuff, give you tea all the time. But now we're in some sort of like park, some sort of tourist area. It's the part right before the Blue Mosque, which is I think right there. Check out a map again. Check out the dogs. You got dogs. Oh, that's another thing. So there are stray dogs and stray cats everywhere. The cats are very friendly. Dogs kind of keep themselves, but they're all over the city. Oh, so you might be able to hear that. It's coming from that mosque right there. It's the call to prayer. So I think 5 times a day in Muslim countries, they do the call to prayer where the mosque emits loud prayer sounds over a microphone for like all the people in the area to hear, and then people go pray generally during that time. At least that's my understanding of it. All right, so here we are in the Blue Mosque overall area. So the Blue Mosque is right there. Go check it out. But right before the Blue Mosque, you have these big things. What are these things? That is a good question and not something I'm sure of. So when I was walking inside to get to like this overall, the Blue Mosque is kind of like an area. It's like kind of like a museum almost. You can just walk in and walk out. That's it there again. So we're outside the Blue Mosque. You got a lot of people coming up to it like saying, hey, let me help you. 9 out of 10 times, it's always best just to say, no, don't, I'm good. They're a little bit persistent, but you just gotta stay firm and say no. They might follow you for a bit. I didn't get that on camera. I wish I did though. Oh, okay, check this out. So it's the Obelisk of Theodosius. Interesting. Almost looks Egyptian from like the carvings there. And then there's another one down there. And then another one. Bunch of obelisks, which then lead right up to the Blue Mosque, which you can't really see right now from here, but we're gonna get a better view. I came during, during peak tour time. There's like big tours. Check them out all over the place. There's a guy found a tour from Mexico, Spain, a lot of them from England, just like sightseeing tours and stuff. I just like to do my stuff by myself, more or less. Istanbul is really nice. It's mid-September, so getting into fall and the leaves turn color. So I'm from like the Northeast back in the United States. Well, I'm also Irish as well, both of those things, but I've lived in the Northeast for a long time now. And the weather feels generally similar in Istanbul right now as it would back in like New York. So check this out here. Immediately you can see like we changed to a lot more older stone. That's the Blue Mosque right up there. The grounds are really well kept. A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people. But hey, one of the most visited mosques by tourists in the world. So what do you expect? So that's the mosque. Absolutely huge and beautiful too. You can kind of see it's blue at the top. So I suppose that's why it's called the Blue Mosque, because of the blue roof. Makes sense. Oh, you got some gold up there too. So it looks like the mosque is currently closed to visitors. And then you can only go in if you want, if you're going to pray, but you have to be Muslim to go in to pray. And I'm not. Looks like we will not be going in today. And that's fine. That's how it goes. Hindsight, that's probably more of a, you know, a me issue. Should have looked up if it's open or not. Look at it from the outside. All of it being kind of reworked, being updated. It's huge, really. But Turkey's been such a pleasant surprise. I got here, didn't really know what to expect. It's been great. It's been great. I think the best way to travel is to travel without really having any expectations of really anything. So let's just grab this view. That's a pretty picture. Yeah, it's a very pretty picture. So I think that's a Hagia Sophia. So yeah, let's go check that one out. But yeah, back to traveling. So I think the best way to travel is have no expectations of really anything. Like, you're gonna go, spend all your money, come back broke. And that's cool. But even when you go, I feel like that's when you have the best experiences, because you have no expectations. At least that's how I've been trying to travel the last few trips. And it's been good. Like Mexico, geez, what a fun time. The Balkans, what a fun time. Turkey, what a fun time. I feel like life surprises you when you allow yourself open to be. Yeah, so we got a confirmation here. That's the Hagia Sophia. Oh,
This way, sir.
nah, I'm good, dude. No, I'm good, thank you. Like, people are always telling you where to go and stuff like that. It's that guy there. You'll get that. Just walking around, people will come up to you, especially in touristy areas, and say, hey, this way, this way, this way, come with me. And 90% of the times, never go with them, because one, they're gonna like take you on a little bit of a tour, and sure, if you want that, that's great, but generally I don't want that, and they're gonna want money at the end, which, I mean, I get, because, you know, everyone wants money. But if you're into that, so be it. I don't recommend it, because you'll also get a really rushed tour too. Like, if you want to do a tour, I would research online ahead of time, book it, and then do a tour that way. Don't just like get there, meet a dude, have him talk to you for like 5-10 minutes and like pay him an over-inflated price. So I'd stay away from that. Now the Hagia Sophia. I really should know more about this. I think it's a church, my bad. The Hagia Sophia is actually another mosque. I should have known that. Ooh, bit of a line for the mosque. So this one is definitely open. I am hesitant in waiting in this line just to go in. I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? What do we have to lose here? How was silly of me to think that was a church. The lines get pretty long, pretty fast. So we'll give us like maybe 10-15 minutes. If it's not moving, we will pop on out of here, because there's a lot to do. A lot to do. So I think we found the back of the line, and looks like we are in line. And here we go. Hagia Sophia Grand Mosque. It's huge. Huge building. And we are in the Grand Mosque. So we'll leave there. But let's check it out. So the women need to wear like scarves to enter, and then men. So there you can't have a tank top. You gotta have like at least a t-shirt, preferably long sleeves. I'm glad we get to check this out anyways. Old building. Crazy architecture. I wonder how they built that back in the day. Wow. You got the marble here. Gotta put your shoes over here. Please remove your shoes. Tasso's up here. No one's gonna want my shoes except myself. The big mosque is over here. Let's go check it out. A lot of people. Pretty crowded, that's for sure. But this is real marble. It even just feels different. Wow. I've never been to any place like this before. This is really cool. It definitely has similarities with the church, but it's clearly not a church. It's very different. It's super interesting. Because I've been to a lot of like old churches, but this is my first mosque. Well, not my first mosque, but my first like big famous mosque. All the colors inside are beautiful. This place is gorgeous. Very crowded. People everywhere. Taking photos. I mean, hey, I'm doing the same thing too. I would assume that that's a prayer going on above us. Then you have people praying up that way. So we won't film people praying because I've heard that that's very rude. And it's important to respect people's traditions. These lights are crazy. These are probably the biggest chandeliers I've ever seen. Wow. This is incredible. It looks like it has several floors too. But the second floor is not open at this time. I don't know if it ever is. But wow. And people are just kind of like sitting around, taking it all in.
I don't
it's
know.
Cool. Okie dokie, let's go find our shoes. I think they're all the way over there. Just kind of gotta weave through the people. I feel like I've heard at least like 5 different languages being spoken. It's really this crazy diverse cultural scene here. This has been such a nice experience. And that's this Hagia Sophia. So I would assume that the Blue Mosque is similar but different. Probably different in terms of like architecture and stuff. Ugh. Or like, you know, colors maybe. I don't really know. But that was the Hagia Sophia. And the Hagia Sophia has a very interesting history, which I think I'll probably make like a separate segment of and attached to this video. But I do want to learn more about the Hagia Sophia because I've heard the history is pretty insane. We got our shoes halfway on and we're on our way out, you know, finding ourselves in the background of many people's photos right now, which is, you know, just kind of what you do. When you go to relatively popular places, you're gonna mess up a lot of photos. And it's best not to stop and wait for people to take their photo before you move on. Just keep moving. People will do the same for you. When you leave, you can see the Blue Mosque right there. And when you leave the Blue Mosque, you can see the Hagia Sophia. It's kind of cool how they have the 2 mosques facing each other like that. And here we go. We're at the exit. What a beautiful building. And then you can clean your feet over there too. I think that's part of the prayer rituals. That too, I don't want to speak on too much because I don't really know as much as I'd like to about that. But just like that, we're out. We are out on to whatever is next. Okay, got some history here. So the Hagia Sophia was originally built to be a church, but then it got turned into a mosque later in time. So that's the history of it. That's why, because I had heard back and forth that the Hagia Sophia was a church, then it was a mosque. And so now we know. Currently, it's a mosque. Used to be a church. Well, that was a true pleasure. Visiting the grounds of the Blue Mosque and visiting inside the Hagia Sophia. And now, we're right back to straight downtown Istanbul. Let's see what's next. All right, I think it's time to get some Turkish tea. One of my favorite things in Turkey is the tea. The tea is so good. I think they call it chai, which is also the name for tea. But I don't know if it's chai tea, but it's chai. And it's delicious. It's like a very strong brewed tea. You add maybe 1 sugar to it. And geez, I've had like 10, 11 of those a day. And I would like some right now because I have not had much water to drink. And we are just kind of like, I mean, who knows where we are, really. Lost in some parking lot. But we're gonna go in that general direction and get some good tea and some water too. Because the water, this is a relatively funny story. But I was in the airport in Sarajevo, which is in Bosnia. And I had a long night before, the night before I was flying out. Didn't have any water. Only had a few beers in the morning. And I have a very heavy backpack. that when I put it on, it kind of like constricts my my chest a bit. And so I was standing in line with a backpack. All of a sudden, I felt faint, and then bam, I was out flat. But I was quickly woken up and surrounded by a lot of people who were pretty friendly. None of them really spoke English, but luckily, I was able to still board my flight. Bit of a traffic jam here. But luckily, I was still able to board my flight. Had some water, had some sugar tea, and yeah, they let me board my flight and it was no problem. And so that's why I'm a little bit more aware of making sure I stay hydrated when doing this stuff, because hey, I don't want to faint again. That would be unfortunate. All right, looks like we're back in the old town. Yeah, we can see the water over there, the port. So that means I need to go this way. But the port, so the port of Istanbul is gorgeous. There's a whole ton of like cargo ships you can see from my hotel. I'll show you. I'm gonna make another video on my hotel room because the hotel I'm in right now is pretty cool. It's got quite the view. Oh wow, check that out. People put rugs on their car to one, dry out the rugs, but I bet it keeps the car inside cooler. That's pretty smart. Because I know back in the States, oh, let's not fall. Back in the States, people put like plastic or like aluminum foil to keep the car from getting too hot. It'd be a nightmare driving here. Don't know how people do it. Because it's so pack to back, tight, and you're going uphill like all the time. One thing I did not know that was super popular in Turkey is pomegranate juice. Oh, let's not get killed. So pomegranate juice, where they squeeze pomegranates fresh to make pomegranate juice. And I've been meaning to try some. I hear it's kind of out of season, but there are some places that are doing it. A lot of places do like fresh squeezed oranges, but pomegranate juice is kind of a novelty. So as well as with tea, let's find some of that. So look what we have here. Pomegranate juice. It'd be 45 lira for fresh pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice has a really strong, distinct flavor, so I'm curious to see how the juice will taste itself just kind of freshly squeezed. Looks like you get fresh orange juice too, but here we go. I've been meaning to try this. Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to trying the pomegranate juice.
Okay, no problem.
I hear good things all about it. I hear it's very fresh, very fresh.
Fresh,
Yeah.
Where are you from?
USA.
USA.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so we slice off the ends there. Yeah, fresh. Okay, then you put it there, a juicer, and then you squeeze. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Getting all the little seeds out and their juices. Ooh. Such a beautiful color. So pink and red.
Yeah.
Last one there. Ooh, wow. Pomegranates, do they grow in Turkey?
Turkey.
Turkey,
Yeah,
okay. I did not know that.
Orange. This is new season.
New season of pomegranates. Okay, wow. What is a good season for pomegranate?
Near
Okay.
in the winter.
And winter too?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's
Yeah,
good.
second.
No, it's good. It's good.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
very
much. Have a good day.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the pomegranate juice.
You're welcome.
We got a little straw. Let's give it a go. Ooh, that is good. So here we got a pomegranate juice. Check it out. It's kind of foamy at the top. I'm surprised it's foamy. Wow, it's super fresh. You can taste how fresh it is. But it's got a very, very, very like strong, almost pungent taste. Like, you know how pomegranates are a little bit bitter? This juice is a little bit bitter too, but it kind of works. That is good. So it's like $2.50 for the juice back home. Because I think pomegranates are like a luxury fruit. You'll probably pay like close to $8 to $10 for this fresh squeezed pomegranate juice back home. Because I know you pay like sometimes up to $8 for fresh squeezed orange juice, just like one glass at some brunch places. But here, geez Louise, it was like 3-4 pomegranates. It's good, but it's bitter. But it's in like a good bitter way. Not too bitter, not too sweet. I bet it's pretty healthy for you too. That's pomegranate juice for you. Another classic traffic jam in Istanbul. I feel like you see these all over the place. About that, you're probably best to, if you were flying out of Istanbul, leave for the airport pretty early because pretty good chance you might get stuck in a pretty big traffic jam like that. These guys haven't budged in like 10 minutes, I don't think. So check this out. Found a little bit of a park. Looks like kids are right out of school. That, I don't know what that is, but I think you can fill up your water there. Maybe, or maybe it's some sort of praying area. Oh wow, check out that fountain. That's gorgeous. Parks are really quite nice here. But one more thing about the pomegranate juice, and you gotta be careful. You do gotta be careful when you deal with pomegranate juice because this stuff stains. And it stains really, really badly. So you can see it's like a deep red color. One time me and my brother were playing with a pomegranate. Back at home, we were pretty young. And we're just like going off at the seeds. Because when you bite the seeds kind of explode into your mouth like a little mini juice box. We both had white shirts on. and the seeds kind of explode. The juice goes everywhere, and we absolutely ruined those shirts. If you do get pomegranate juice, don't spill it on yourself, because that won't be coming out. Right, so check out the little cafe that we found here. Super nice. I like, you know, seating, tablecloth. But anyways, we're gonna get some chai tea, which is great tea, great Turkish tea. Probably one of the best teas I've ever had. And go over what is the Hagia Sophia, because I was going back and forth on that a bit. Thank you so much. Okay, so we got our tea here. We get some sugar over there. We'll grab a sugar, open it up, and then we'll just drop it in there. Ooh. And then it dissolves because the tea is so hot, just automatically. You can stir it up if you want, but it'll just dissolve regardless. Got some water because I am quite thirsty. And it's gonna be a bit hot at first, so it takes a minute. Ah, yeah. The best is when it's been like steeping for maybe 2-3 minutes. Cool off a bit. Oh, that's so good. So it's like very, very strong tea, slightly sweet. And check out how they give it to you. Like, they give you tea in this type of cup all over. At least all over Istanbul is what I found. It's quite nice because it's kind of like fat at the bottom, skinny at the top. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of like a mini Chemex, you know, like a coffee Chemex a little bit. And this is so refreshing. That is good. So, I was speaking about the Hagia Sophia and didn't really know what I was talking about. So let's figure out what it is. Basically, the Hagia Sophia was originally built by the Roman Emperor Justinian I as a Christian cathedral in Constantinople. Oh yeah, so Istanbul used to be called Constantinople up until sometime during the mid-1900s. It got changed over to Istanbul. So the Hagia Sophia originally began as a church and was the center of the Eastern Orthodox religion for almost like 1,000 years, so it says. And then, so in the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire in 1453, the Hagia Sophia was converted into a mosque by Mehmed the Conqueror. Okay, and it then became the principal mosque of Istanbul until 1616, and then that's when they built the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, which I believe is the Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque is now like the main mosque. It's a mosque. It used to be a church, now it's a mosque. That's why I was confused, because I heard back and forth things of, is it either a mosque or a church? It's a mosque. Don't want to get that wrong. So, long story short, the Hagia Sophia is a mosque. It used to be a church. I hope that clears up any sort of confusion. I know, because at least I was confused. I wonder how many mosques have been turned, or I wonder how many churches have been turned into mosques. Let me know if you know. Maybe it's a lot, maybe it's a little. I would guess it's a little, but I don't really know. Oh yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Jeez, Istanbul is super cool. I'm gonna be back. I got a few more days here anyways, but I hope you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one.